All right, we are on the last problem in the annuity section. So we're going to look at a credit card statement, and this one is a little bit different. So for this example, we have a credit card statement that goes from May 25th to June 24th. So your billing cycle will change depending on the month, and you use the first month to let you know how many days are going to be in that billing cycle. So we know that May has 31 days. I'm going to write that down here. And so we should have 31 days in this billing cycle. So the charges you get when you get your bill, you have this charge on May 28th. We have a charge of $45 on June 5th and a charge of $73.60 on June 16th. You also had a previous balance of $500 carried over from your last billing cycle. So we're keeping it to just a couple of charges just to make this easier to do. So Part A, your MasterCard has an APR of 17.24% on standard purchases. Calculate the periodic interest rate for this billing cycle. So this is a little different than the way we've done it before. It's going to be the rate times the length of the billing period. All right, so our rate is right here. We do want to write that as a decimal, so 0.1724. And then our billing cycle we just said was 31 days, since there's 31 days in May. And we do have to write that in years. So it's 31 out of 365 days. So we're not going to calculate this. We're going to leave it because it's going to be a little bit ugly. All right, now we want to fill out the table showing all of the daily balances. So we are going to start with the $500 that we carried over. Okay, so we have that $500 balance. Our first charge is not until May 28th. So for the first 3 days of the billing cycle, the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th, this was our balance. So this would be 3 days. Now on the 28th, we made that charge. So now it's 500 plus the charge of $85.75. So that gives us $585.75. And we didn't make another purchase until June 5th. So this balance stayed from the 28th through the 4th. So 28, 29, 30, 31, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be a total of 8 days. And then on the 5th, we made another charge. So we're going to bring this balance down. All right, and on June 5th, we made a charge of $45. So that brings our total to $630.75. And then we didn't make another purchase until the 16th. So be really careful here. Don't just subtract 15 minus 5. You do have to count the days on each end. So if you go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, you actually get to 11. And I know it sounds silly, but counting on my fingers works best for me. All right, so our last charge was made on June 16th. So I'm going to take my previous balance from the last line, and now we're going to add $73.60. All right, so that gets us to $704.35. That's going to be the 16th through the 24th, which comes out to be 9 days. Now, if you add these up, this should come out to be 31 days. And we know the first month of the billing cycle was in May, so it should match and should have 31 days. All right, so now we want to find the average daily balance. So think about how you find the average of numbers. You add them all up and you divide by however many there are. In this case, we've got 31 days, so we want to add up the balance each day of the month, all 31 days, and divide by 31. So if we wrote them all out separately, we would write the 500 3 times. We would write the 585.75 8 times, and so on. So to make that a little bit easier, we're going to do it this way. we had 3 days at $500 plus 8 days at $585.75. So this would be the same as writing the 500 out 3 times and writing this out 8 times. It's just a little bit easier. All right, so moving down 11 days, we had a balance of $630.75. And then finally for 9 days, we had a total of $704.35. So here's all your days. And we know that they add up to be 31. So we're going to divide that by 31. All right, so if you do the whole numerator first in your calculator, you're going to get 19463.4. And then we're going to divide that by 31. Now remember, this is an average, so your average should fall somewhere between the 500 and the 704.35. In this case, we're getting $627.85. So that looks fairly reasonable. That's somewhere between that 500 and that 704. All right, so next we're going to calculate the finance charge. So to do this, we're going to do the average daily balance times I. So we did the average daily balance in part C. So it's going to be $627.85. And we calculated I up here in part A. So 0.1724 times 31 over 365. All right, so we're going to put that in our calculator. And you hear my cat, he says hello. All right, and when I put all that in my calculator, I'm getting $9.19. All right, so this is going to be your finance charge for that month. And so you have to pay this in addition to paying your balance. So your ending balance, this is what you're going to get the bill for. So you're going to get a bill for this much plus your finance charge. And then that's going to come out to be $713.54. Now this doesn't include things like late fees, right? It's just your final balance plus your finance charge.